And welcome, people. Welcome to another session. Again, we are doing testing of the mods that are going into Season 3. Next on the list of testing, rotten flesh. We've managed to make some flesh, and surprise, surprise, it's actually usable as a food source in this version, which I was not aware of. And yes, I have charcoal. This is testing, it doesn't really matter. And it works. Just transporter.
For most of the mods that I am playing with, I'm going to try to actually make what they're doing. I apologize for the use of a studio voiceover. It turned out that it was very necessary this time.
Why am I not being burdened? I'm supposed to be slowed down while carrying this thing. There we go. Oh yeah.
This is the big balancing factor. Imagine carrying 10 or 15 chests at once.
Works nicely.
To show you the effects, you have hunger, slowness, mining fatigue, and you can't jump. I'm going to be using this to reorganize the storage room.
Very nice. Steve's cart. I have absolutely no real idea how to use Steve's cart, so this is going to be fun time. So for Steve's carts, what I'm looking for is the wood hull and the wood wheels. So the recipe for this is 5 iron ingots and iron wheels. And the iron wheels are... okay.
I trimmed out about 4.5 minutes of crafting table time, making the hull into hotbar and the PCB boards for the assembler. Steve's carts is being added at Anand's request. She has demonstrated that she will not abuse an automation mod. With that said, this is the weakest automation mod I can find.
Can you actually assemble a cart without anything? Apparently not. It has to have fuel.
What you do with an engine isn't exactly obvious at first. Notice I'm trying to put it inside the assembler. It took me a while to realize that they are upgrades that go on the side of the assembler, and even longer to realize that they're actually full blocks. Now that we've got this thing, let's put down a little track and play with it. Thumper would probably say, "Doesn't do much, does it?" Well, I didn't really give it anything, so no, it doesn't.
Well, it is functional, and we can figure out what else to do with it later. Are these guys compatible with the forestry engines?
Okay, I admit it. This is the only forestry engine that I even know how to use.
It's currently at 626. So whatever is going on The engines are not compatible between the two systems. All right.
So let's try playing around with batteries. This is where I learn that batteries are really not energy generators. They store huge amounts of energy generated elsewhere.
Oh my, look at that.
These large solar panel blocks are rendering issues with Optifine.
So you can power this stuff on the side. All right. Okay, so that seems to be the most basic thing. And there's a seat. Somewhere there's a seat that lets you sit in the cart. Here we are.
This is a basic coal engine. It is the Steve's cart version of a vanilla furnace minecart. It's a furnace, a housing, and a piston.
So let's put the whole thing together and make what, as far as I can tell, is the most basic functional Steve's cart available. I've got a hull, an engine, and a seat. Now let's put it all together. So Steve's cart seems to be working. Extra utilities. The most basic thing to test with extra utilities is compressed cobblestone. So let's try to do that, and let's see if we can make double compressed. Works. But it's not enough just to be able to compress the cobblestone. Let's make sure we can uncompress it as well. The builder's wand is very useful, but those unstable ingots are a bit of a difficult to craft with. And they stick. If I understand how this works properly, I can take some cobblestone. Yeah, that's the pattern. Then, so it even highlights where we'll try to put things. And note now that I have grass in my inventory, it will let me put a layer of grass down. Okay. So it makes a guess as to what you want and uses what you have in your inventory as a helper for deciding what to do. And it only seems to put down one type of material at a time. All right. All right, now let's try playing around with that Steve's cart. So the first thing is it moves on a track. There's a mount cart button, so let's get on. Now with normal vanilla furnace carts, you can right click it to put coal in. Well, you can nudge these things. All right, so let's try putting charcoal in here. Get on the cart, put in some charcoal. Our fuel's going down, and all right, we got a track clogging to clean up. Actually, let's put down a track loop. Put down a little loop of track and see how well these carts behave. Here we go. All right, come on, push. Come on the, no, other way, come on. On the track, Come on, turn around, there you go. Come on, push. No, okay, try again. On the track, there we go. All right, let's get on and ride this thing. And of course, it's out of fuel, isn't it? Yep, it's out of fuel. All right, let's try this again. Mount cart, charcoal, engine. Nice, it works. It doesn't turn on its own. A vanilla cart turns you when it takes corners. Here we have to turn manually. Well, it definitely counts as functional. Paintbrush, colored bricks, colored wood. Alright, so let's get ourselves some wood stairs. Okay, it is planks and bricks, not stairs and slabs. I see, it is in the crafting table, not in the world. So we head over to the crafting table, and alright, so you don't have to use the vanilla dyes such as cactus green, and I'm not even sure which mod the green dye itself comes from, but it works. And in honor of Alex, we do have to test the flammability of all of this. Alex will be in heaven. We have fireproof wood. What happens if you bump this thing while it's running? Nothing. And you can't make stairs or slabs out of it. But it's fireproof. That counts for something. Alright. Next on the list of things to test, I've already tested the shovel, the pickaxe. The tree capitating axe we've determined does work. And now to see what the reversing hoe does. All right, let's try the watering can. Why is the watering can not doing anything? Or wait a second. Flowers. What's my video settings doing? Particles. Turn on particles. There we go. Okay, so let's start using the watering can and get ourselves some pumpkins. All right, now with some pumpkins grown, let's use the reversing hoe and see what happens. As expected, it kills the land. It does nothing to the stalks. It does nothing to wild grass. I don't know if you just saw what I saw. Plain old ordinary dirt in the middle of nowhere can be turned into grass. Mwahaha. Decorations for the win. Who needs silk touch? I have a reversing hoe. They do drop multiple seeds. It's just like you're harvesting them. As long as I'm here, real silly question. Will better item be spawning plant the seeds? Can the watering can hydrate? Yes, the watering can hydrate dirt. Instant hydration, nice. All right, so it is 12:10 a.m. in game. Let's see how long it takes to dry out. And Derpy Squid is derp. Oh, this is just so cute. Oh, reversing hoe, you are going to be one of my favorite decorative tricks. Technically, I have not crafted an unstable ingot. I don't even know how much damage they do. With no damage to the ground, so I've got something set wrong. It should have blown a hole in the ground. On a hunch, just in case this is much nastier than I'm expecting, so yeah, they're pretty potent. And it's starting to dry out over there. Now then, that reversing hoe. So on pumpkin stalks, it does nothing. On pumpkins, it does nothing. On wheat, it turns it back into seeds. Oh, I did have something here. Wild grass, it does nothing. What about on plants? Nope. Watering can waters as much as a heavy rainstorm does, but it does eventually dry out. Explosions are doing nothing, and I need to see about that config. I had creepers turned off in the past, but that should now be on. I should not have anything taking out, ouch. I should not have anything taking out explosions. So where did I put that little grass block in the middle of the dirt, in the middle of the water? There's the grass block in the middle of the water. Yeah, it's damaging blocks. So I guess those unstable ingots are special case to only kill you and not the blocks. All right. So what else is there to test? All right. So the next thing to test, forestry and extra bees. So a spruce turns into red spruce. A birch turns into silver birch. And jungle trees turn into jungle saplings. So these are the forestry versions of the vanilla trees. And if I ask for their leaves, I get this type of leaf. And it doesn't really look like much when you try to plant it. Which brings up the interesting question, if I ask for shears, that is the missing texture block. So let's make sure that I'm doing this correct. If I get a vanilla sapling, and I bone meal it, oh, hello. So my vanilla leaves are see-through. My forestry leaves are not. Well, we've gotten our first flutterby. So the crops, the seedlings did not plant. All right, so what else do I want to test before I call it for the night? We know that butterflies do spawn from these trees. So pollination and tree variation can occur without bees. We know that vanilla leaves are see-through, forestry leaves are not. The vanilla leaves respond to shears. The forestry leaves do not. The wood blocks appear to be the same, by the way. I think that's everything that needs to be tested. So I just saw a horrible little thing happen. So let's make sure I'm using the vanilla tree, non-creative mode. And that's a config error. With bare hands, it tipped the whole thing out. So let's fix that config file.